Okay, so on this first one, we're given that ray BD bisects angle ABC. So that means we are dealing with an angle bisector. We know that CD is 21.9. What is the length of AD? It is also 21.9. On number 2, we are given that the length of AD is 61 and the length of CD is also 61. This means we are again dealing with an angle bisector. We know that angle ABC, that is the large angle, is 48 degrees, and we are looking for the measure of angle CBD. How would we find the measure of angle CBD? We would divide 48 by 2, and that would get us 24 degrees for the measure of angle CBD. Then on number 3, we have that DA and DC have equal measures. We have that means that we have an angle bisector. We have that angle DBC, that's the bottom angle, is 10y plus 3. And that angle DBA is 8y plus 10. We want to figure out what the measure of angle DBC is. So we need to set these equal to each other because we have an angle bisector. So those are congruent measures. Subtract 8y from both sides. Subtract 3 from both sides. So we could get 2y equals 7. Divide by 2 on both sides, so we would have y equals 7/2. But we're not finished. We want to find the measure of angle DBC. So we need to substitute, so 10 times 7/2 plus 3. And that gets us 38 degrees. Okay, then our next one, we want to tell whether each segment is a perpendicular bisector, an angle bisector, or neither. Remember, a perpendicular bisector has to have right angles and it has to cut your sides in half. An angle bisector has to cut the angle in half. The first one here, segment AE, so we don't have anything that's perpendicular, so it's not a perpendicular bisector. But down here at the corner, we have arc marks. That tells us we have an angle bisector. Yes, you need to write out the whole word. Then we're looking at segment DG. Segment DG does have a right angle on it, so we need to look and see if the side that has the right angle is getting cut in half, and it is. So we have a perpendicular bisector. Then we're looking at segment BG. We have no right angle, so it's not a perpendicular bisector. So we need to look at the corner. We do have arc marks, so this is an angle bisector. Next up, we're looking at CR. CR, we have no right angle, and when we go to the corner, there are no arc marks, so this is a neither. up, we're looking at FR. We have a right angle. We need to look at the side and see if it gets split in half. And it's not getting split in half. It's not getting bisected. So this is not a perpendicular bisector. And this doesn't go to one of the vertices, so it's not an angle bisector either. This is neither. And we are looking at segment DR. Segment DR does not have the right angle at it and doesn't go to one of the vertices. So this again is neither.